All right, welcome back, everybody. Broadcasting from Nkosi's Haven here in the south of Johannesburg. It's a pleasure being here. It really, really is. This place holds such a special place in, I think, all of our history. You know, when you see a picture or the face of little young Nkosi Johnson, you understand the long way that South Africa has come in recognizing HIV and AIDS and treating HIV and AIDS. And this place that we're standing here is really a dream of that young boy, and of course together with Gail Johnson, his adoptive mom, they realized this dream for a lot of people that are staying here. Some of the figures that I've got, we've got around about, I think it says 22 mothers that are staying here and 121 children. Now obviously a lot of these children are orphaned children, but they all do have HIV and AIDS, and they stay here. They are cared for, looked after in every which way that they possibly can in many areas. You know, this is it's basically an area that's got cottages, sick bays, a therapy block, a library, a baby daycare. It's got workshops, classrooms, on-site education and skills building. It's got a music and art center as well, a leisure room, an upgraded kitchen, a sports field, administrative offices. So they really do try and do everything that they can. Apparently there is a preschool that, according to the website, still being built, but we'll find out if it's actually finished by now. So that'll be really nice to see if there is a preschool that the kids here are able to actually go to school on the premises here. So this is one of those stories that perhaps does give you a little bit of hope. And I'm seeing the mothers and the children waking up right now. So I'm sure we'll get an opportunity to chat to them a little bit later on in the program here. But we've been talking behind the scenes to a lot of people that do live with HIV and AIDS here in South Africa. We've been interacting with very inspirational people, I can let you know. What we found out is that a combination of treatment, a healthy lifestyle, and let me tell you something, I think more than anything, a positive outlook is what really gets them through a very tough time in their life and remains something that keeps them very strong. Well, here is an insert that we've put together of a strong and a young man who is living testimony of this. Take a look.
From as early as he could remember, Ntimbwe Mpamba knew that he was unlike other children. But back then, the youngest of five didn't quite know why.
My life was enclosed because my mom always kept me as a golden egg. Not a silver egg, a golden egg, because when opportunities came, she always said no to them because she knew that if she let me go, I would either die or be lost without her. So I was a mother's egg. Whatever I did was monitored. I had a timetable to get in the house. I mean, my life was a timetable. I mean, I didn't know what clubbing was. Drinking was something that I just heard about. You know, it was an enclosed life. I mean, even a girlfriend, I didn't know what a girlfriend was. It was just, my life was, because even in sports, I was always given the easy sports to say sack race, egg race. Track and field, I was not allowed because they thought I would actually end up a casualty.
It was not until he tested positive for HIV in 2005 at the age of 23, following the most serious of a series of illnesses he had suffered, that it all started to make sense. But what he couldn't understand was how he got the virus when he'd been so cautious. Ntimbwe recalled how sickly he was growing up, how paranoid his mother had been about keeping his environment hygienic, how his name would be whispered at family gatherings, and how the murmurs would quickly turn to silence when he walked into the room. He came to the realization that he was born HIV positive. His mother died before she could explain.
My mom knew because she would also have the same, like she would have herpes, TB, and she died from TB relapse. So before she could tell me I had the virus, she passed on. So there was no one who had the guts to come and say, you had the virus from birth.
The now 32-year-old Zambian was at a crossroads. Would he decide to wallow in misery or live positively? He chose the latter, and it seems it's worked for him.
After losing my lung to a certain virus, and my lung healed because they were supposed to take a piece of my lung and make sure they would find out the virus that was eating up my lung, but they didn't take a piece of my lung. So after my lung healing, I lost my right eye to herpes zoster. It was supposed to be taken out, but I refused because I knew God would actually heal it. But after going to a specialist and managing to see a pinhole of light, they said I could not see again. I took that as a challenge to say, if this is a challenge, I'll make use of the challenge. Each and every morning, I would close one eye and sway my fingers until I got to see my fingers.
But it hasn't been easy. He has had to cheat death a number of times and says he does not fear it.
I've seen the grave several times that even death doesn't know me anymore. I mean, I was a bad tenant in the grave for several times where you go there, you're declared dead by the medical experts. Say what they read is going east, what they see is going west. And yet this person is asking, say, so what's next? Because I don't agree with what they see. They can read to say this person should be in ICU on several drips and declared dead. But here's a person asking me, say, who's buying coffee?
Ntimbwe lives life to the full and enjoys hanging out with his friends. Even his doctor says he's a great source of encouragement to all patients.
Ntimbwe is just a stunning patient. In fact, I don't even know him by his name. I know him as the ambassador. He is an ambassador to the clinic. He's an ambassador for the HIV cause. He is just a stunning patient. He comes here on the Fridays. We run an adolescent clinic one Friday a month, and I use him as the big mentor here. He motivates everyone, and the best thing about adolescents is there is no better person to get them in the right route than someone they own, in that same peer group. So if you're not doing well, I just give the look to Ambassador there. He takes over with the child and he explains to them how they have to take the meds, how important it is, and how they can only do well.
This is his message on World AIDS Day.
I would say, if I could conquer the HIV, who are you not to do the same?
Ayanda Ali Payne, Johannesburg.